for this collection I wanted to explore this sort of bohemian side of the Gucci girl, but at the same time with a rock and roll attitude. I thought that bohemian was quite interesting because the references about the prints, for example, or about the fabrics or the patterns, they are all coming from Russia or from the Eastern Europe, and I thought that was interesting to explore more in depth all these moments in the history where a lot of intellectual and artists, they moved from Eastern Europe and Russia, and they came here in Europe to Paris or to Vienna, and they mixed and they fused their culture together with the Parisian culture of the time. So it's the moment of the 20s, it's the moment of the joie de vivre, so it's a very funny moment. And then of course I continue to spend research arriving on the 70s, for example, with the famous groupies muses from Rolling Stone or Beatles, and I think that they were very excited muses. And if you think, for example, in the 70s there were a lot of designers like Ossie Clark and Biba, they were looking a lot to the 20s. My process and my approach to this brand from a few seasons is quite young, because I really like short proportion. I really like to create a sort of statement also on my short dress, or for example on the skinny pants. And I think is interesting. It's something that I see that people want, the women want to wear. So I thought that was interesting.
I think this time she just hit the jackpot because first of all, these glamorous girls that we have all around the world, they really like something less intellectual and very decorative, and it was done in a brilliant way.
She tapped into this very cool Russian history with some 60s thrown in, 60s, 70s thrown in, rich hippie girl. And I thought it was very rich and embellished looking, but also cool, not heavy old lady of rich embellished, very cool embellished.
This is the return of I Dread.
This collection was thought because each single look is performing a sort of individuality, a sort of opulence, a sort of richness, with the use of course, of the workmanship, of the craftsmanship, because every single look is very rich and full of details.
I thought it was very folkloristic, and it was for the men's collection. So it was arranged in this way, with a lot of jewelry, embroideries, and furs, and the pants and boots. So kind of ethnical inspiration, and I think that she loved in the men's, and so she went on in the women's collection.